أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشرك والشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على نبينا الكريم محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى أهله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد Assalamu Alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today inshallah we'll be talking about the importance of having a good relationship with the Qur'an. It is recommended for every believing Muslim to recite the Holy Qur'an often, as much as possible. In fact, every day. You should make a consistency with reciting the Holy Qur'an, and you can do that using your memory or a copy of the Holy Qur'an. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Sad verse 29, كِتَابٌ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مُبَارَكٌ لِيَدَّبَّرُوا آيَاتِهِ وَلِيَذَّكَّرَ أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ. And the Qur'an is a book that He has sent down so that we can ponder over His verses and so that people can, reflect on it. So inshallah today in the studio I have Fatima Zahra Muhammad. She is inshallah here to talk to us about the importance of having a good relationship with the Quran. Fatima, Jazakallah khairan for honoring my invitation. I'm really glad to have you here.
MashaAllah.
So can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Assalamu Alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fatima Zahra Muhammad.
MashaAllah. Are you one of those people who rarely touch the Quran? Or do you do the normal routine, keep it on your shelf, kiss it, keep it, carry it back, look at this, I love my Quran, I keep it? Or do you actually have consistency with reciting the Quran? Today, inshallah, we are going to give you many tips about how you can connect with the Quran. So stay tuned. So why do we need to form a relationship with the Quran?
As Muslims, we understand the profound importance of the Quran in our lives. And today we will explore why it is crucial to cultivate a strong bond with this divine book. First and foremost, let us understand why we need to form a relationship with the Quran. The Quran is not just any book, it's the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator. It serves as a comprehensive guide for Muslims, providing us with guidance, wisdom and solace. In Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in verse 1 and 2 of Baqarah, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. He says this is the book about which there is no doubt, a guidance for those conscious of Allah. As a guide, the Quran provides Muslims with a moral compass and helps them navigate their lives in accordance with the teachings of Islam. It serves as a source of inspiration, comfort and solace. By forming a relationship with the Quran, we ensure that we constantly connected to the source of divine knowledge, finding peace and contentment in our lives. Now let's delve into how we can be consistent with Quran recitation. Consistency is key when it comes to engaging with the Quran. So my tips for being consistent with the Quran is, firstly, dua. Dua is very important because in the end, tawfiq, meaning success, is from Allah. And we often have sincere intention to increase our good deeds. We meticulously organize time and resources to pray, fast and study more, only to be disappointed by lack of success. We forget that tawfiq is from Allah, so don't forget Allah. Don't forget to ask Allah for tawfiq, success. And secondly, create a daily schedule. Set out time each day to recite a portion of the Quran. Start small with what you can keep up and don't overwhelm yourself. It will be counterproductive to say you will start with a hibs every day. With time, it will become difficult for you to keep up. And so start with a verse or two each day. Start with a page or two, and with time, inshallah, you increase your pace. And thirdly, listen to audio recitations. You can actually just listen to your favorite reciter. It gives that kind of vibe. That vibe when you like that person's voice.
Whoever recites, if you're listening to the audio, you get the same reward as the reciter.
Yeah, so mashallah, imagine that beautiful reward. So you listen to your favorite reciter, and then inshallah, this is my tips for you, and I hope you inshallah use it and get your
close connection.
Yes, your close connection with the Holy Quran.
So whenever you are reciting the Quran, you're supposed to check your intention. You're supposed to check yourself, ask yourself, why am I reciting this? Is it so that they can say, I love your Quran recitation, or is it so
or your voice
or your melody or something? So we're supposed to ask ourselves why we're reciting it, because the Prophet ﷺ, he described his wife, his beloved wife Aisha. He said she was a walking Qur'an. You know how you describe people as walking dictionary of knowledge? Prophet ﷺ, he described her as a walking Qur'an, because she did not only read the Quran, she lived it. She allowed everything she learned from the Quran to appear, to be seen on her lifestyle. So how do we purify our intention when reciting the Quran?
It is essential to purify our intention. We must approach the Quran with sincerity, with taqwa. So like seeking knowledge and understanding its message instead of just reading it for reading's sake. You need to understand it and the message Allah has sent to us through the Quran. By doing so, we enhance the value and impact to our recitation, deepen our connection with Allah and His words.
You know, there are people that sing the Quran instead of reciting it. So do you have something to say about that?
Yes, I do. This is a distinction between reciting, reading, and singing the Quran. When we recite the Quran, we do it proper tajweed, following the rules of the recitations. This ensures that we maintain the beauty and accuracy of the Quran words. It is crucial to recite the Quran rather than merely reading it or singing it, as we want to honor and respect the divine nature of this sacred book. As Muslims, we long to present the Quran to Allah someday. The Quran serves as a testament to our love and devotion to Allah. This longing motivates us to strengthen our relationship with the Quran and strive to live our lives in accordance with its teaching.
Like you said about the singing of the Quran, people should just know that, you know, like melodious recitation of Quran is called al-alhan. It's detested for a number of reasons, among which are that its reciters, they merge letters that are not supposed to be merged. They extend med when there's no extension. They omit hamza when you're not supposed to omit it, and they double consonants, tashdid, where there's not supposed to be doubling, just to preserve the melody. Also, this kind of Quran recitation gets people to be emotionally taken away. So it distracts them from pondering on the verses, because when you're praying, you're supposed to be pondering on the verses, but when the Quran recites or when the Imam is singing the verses, now you're getting very emotional and you're taken away from pondering on the verses the way you're supposed to do it. About the longing, about the presenting of the Quran to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, Abdullah bin Amr radiallahu anhu narrated, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, يقال لصاحب القرآن, that it will be said to the companion of the Quran on the day of judgment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say to him, اقرأ وارتقي ورتل كما كنت ترتل في الدنيا فإن منزلتك عند آخر آية تقرأ بها. That you should recite the Quran. It will be said to the companion of the Quran on the day of Qiyamah that he should read and recite and ascend as you read in the world, as you were reciting in the world, because verily your rank in Jannah is determined by the last verse that you recite. So how beautiful is that?
I know, right?
Memorize the Quran,
mashallah,
on that day when you've been longing to present the Quran to Allah, Allah will tell you then fine, read, and your rank is increasing as you're reciting it. May Allah make us among those people whose ranks will increase by the grace of the Quran. Also, the Quran intercedes for its reciter on the day of Qiyamah, because the Prophet ﷺ said, Iqra'ul Quran. Now, this is another reason for us to want to have a connection with the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ said in this hadith, Iqra'ul Quran, فَإِنَّهُ يَأْتِي يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةُ شَفِيعًا لِأَصْحَابِهِ. Then recite the Quran, read the Quran, be a companion of the Quran, because it will come on the day of judgment when you are in front of Allah. May Allah never make us among these category of people, though, that are in front of Allah, being helpless, having no good deeds. But the Quran will come and say, Ya Allah, this person always recited me every day in the dunya. This person was my friend in the dunya. This person always opened me. I was always on the lips of this person. The Quran will intercede for you on your behalf on the day of Qiyamah. Now, how beautiful is it that even if you're not on the brink of you're going to Jannah, you're not on the brink of you're going to Jahannam, and you're there, and the Quran remembers you. So you just know that now you're not reciting the Quran just for reciting sake. I mean, even if you're reciting it for reciting sake, now you're told that the Quran will intercede on your behalf. So keep reciting it, continue reciting it. So, inshallah, with this, we'll go on a short break. This is an advert from Kamal Merriga Tailoring Services. They sell and make men and kids wears and accessories, caps. Experience fashion and style with them like never before. So do check them out. Assalamu Alaikum. from the short break. I hope you enjoyed it. We've been talking with Fatima Zara about the importance of having a good relationship with the Holy Quran. We've discussed at length why we need to form a relationship with the Quran, how to be consistent with it, and how to purify our intentions when we're reciting the Quran. We've also talked about singing and reciting the Quran, that we should recite and not sing the Quran. We also long to present the Quran to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala someday, as we've been told that the Quran will intercede on our behalf on the day of Qiyamah. So the discussion continues. How do we reignite our relationship with the Quran? Most of us already have that connection with the Quran, but how do we reignite it? How do we make it stronger?
Let's talk about when your relationship with the Quran is being waned. Well, you don't have to worry. I guess that's what I have to say, because there are ways to reignite that connection. Make the Quran your constant guide in all aspects of your life, because you take time to read and you ponder over the meanings, and you seek understanding, you seek more knowledge, because the Quran talks about every single thing, and it also comforts. It's also it's actually a healing process as well. It heals your sadness, your anxiety, or even sadness. Maybe you lost a loved one, you feel you are not like loved maybe by the people left with you. You feel the only person you loved has gone away. A lot of verses in the Quran do comfort you. Like Allah comforts all his servants, and we should also know that Allah doesn't take someone from you because he doesn't like you. Allah doesn't burden us more than we can take and all that. So we should understand and be reflecting rather than rushing through the entire Quran without contemplation. This will help you discover the transformative power of the Quran in your life, and inshallah Allah will guide you as you ask for guidance.
Inshallah. Reading one verse one time and reflecting over it is even more important than the khatma, that's the complete completion of the Holy Quran. So if you're reading the Quran, read it with contemplation and with understanding. Cure your heart with the Quran, like she said, and give da'wah using the Quran. Discuss the Quran among your peers. Discuss how you can help elevate your iman with the Quran.
And also there's a hadith that says the person who recites the Quran smoothly, and the person who has mishkila always, like he's not able to recite, yes, he's not perfect in his recitation, that person has more a double reward of the person who reads the Quran without any mistakes or mishkila.
Yeah, because of the struggle. So
yes, because of the struggle. Yes, double
reward, not someone that recites it smoothly, you're saying. So this is giving you a special time for you to recite the Quran. Allah said, "Wa Quran al-Fajr," recite the Quran at that Fajr time. Recitation of the Quran during that morning Fajr time, that at dawn, is very important, because in the Quran al-Fajr kana mashhuda. It is recitation of the Quran during Fajr prayer, after Fajr prayer. You know, between that time when the sun is out and the time when the light of the day is clear and visible, the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala witness that your recitation of the Quran. So Allah is telling you that they witness your recitation of the Quran. So wa Quran al-Fajr, recite the Quran at that Fajr time, and inshallah you get more closer to the Quran. Because imagine you wake up at Fajr for Subhi prayer, and the next thing you're doing, you're having a recitation of the Quran. There's this bond that whatever starts your day, something that you continuously have a strong bond with. So you have a connection with the Quran that's very strong, and nothing can ever, take you away from it except yourself. Now that's another thing. We tend to distract ourselves with a lot of things from the Quran. We tend to think that just because I recited the Quran, it's like hifz. SubhanAllah, I had this very bad experience, and I learned and understood that the Quran is not something you should joke about. There was this day we were going to have an inner musabaka with our peers in our Islamia, and I was thinking, because I did my muraja'a last night, so I can sleep and just go there and do my thing, of course. That kind of thing, that kind of overconfidence.
Yeah, overconfidence.
And wallahi, even the Bismillah, I had to be corrected like 5 times. So it made me realize, do this, recite the Quran. It will shock you. Like,
yes, definitely.
Because you don't know that the Quran has mu'jiza. It's something you call mu'jiza. That's why you see people making mistakes in Quran recitation where they shouldn't be
making
it's Allah telling you, hey, you're not perfect. These are my words. Why did one of the Imams of Saudi, he said he does muraja of a surah 40 times before he goes to pray, a congregational prayer.
Yes.
Not even tahajjud or something, just a normal congregational prayer. Why? Because of the mu'jiza of the Quran. Allah tells us in the Quran that He is the person, He owns the Quran, it's His kitab, He sent it down, and He is giving us the Quran as a book of guidance. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide our lives with the Holy Quran. So Fatima, is there a parting message that you would want to give our viewers today?
In conclusion, family relationship with the Quran is of utmost importance for Muslims. It serves as our spiritual guide, providing us with guidance, peace, and contentment by being consistent in our recitation. Purifying our intention and understanding the Quran's message, we can strengthen our bond with this divine book. Let us strive to make the Quran essential part of our lives as it has transformed us. Thank you.
So Fatima, Jazakallah khairan for honoring my invitation and coming. This was a very beneficial discussion. We were talking about the importance of having a good relationship with the Quran. Let's be consistent with it. Let us make the Quran our best friend. Let us read the Quran at least every day. Let us try as much as possible to memorize the Quran so that we can be among the people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells, Iqra wa ratil kama kunta taratil fid dunya. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless our lives with the blessings of the Quran. May He give us the ability to recite the Quran as we should. With this I say Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for watching.